saying in this saying of his? He's saying that the day of judgment has come and there is chaos everywhere, and you have a plant or a sapling in your hand, and the day of judgment is here. Do not waste a second. Plant that tree even if the day of judgment comes upon you. Now, this is awareness at the highest level that can be imagined. And what about saving humanity? We believe as Muslims that whoever saves one human being has saved the entire humanity. So all these traditions which were given to us 1400 years ago are most relevant even today. And this message needs to be given to the world, given to our people, so that this inculcates in them a sense of responsibility with regard to climate change. This requires a cultural change, because you see, deforestation, melting of snow, rising sea levels, rising river levels, extreme temperatures, extreme cold weather, extreme hot weather, it is causing devastation. It is causing diseases. People are suffering from lung diseases, from breathing issues. And those people who are based on the banks and tributaries of rivers, they are most vulnerable. So it is incumbent upon us to ensure that we get this message out there, that every citizen, young or old, has to play his or her role to ensure that people get to know about the devastating consequences of climate change. I believe that it is not only a national duty, a moral duty, but also a religious duty. I have quoted 3 instances, one from the Holy Quran, 2 from the Prophet, peace be upon him. And we've seen from our own eyes, we've experienced devastating floods, we've experienced the consequences of climate change. Honorable Dr. Sahib, I would also like to propose a way forward today. And whenever you come up with a declaration or a document at the end of all your sessions that you've organized, I would like to contribute in terms of a separate declaration regarding awareness, in which we involve other ministries, other divisions, other stakeholders who have a role to play. Because we will speak to the media houses. And unfortunately, a culture has developed in this country that social media content which is controversial gains the more traction. The more controversial it is, and if I may, मैं 2 मिनट उर्दू में इस पे बात करना चाहूँगा. आप टिकटॉक पे देखते हैं, इंस्टाग्राम पे देखते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी गाड़ियों के साथ, बड़े बड़े डालों के साथ, बड़ी बड़ी चेनों के साथ जो लोग हैं उनको ज़्यादा लाइक्स मिलते हैं. क्लाइमेट चेंज की बात करेंगे, कोई लाइक्स नहीं मिलते, व्यूज ही नहीं आते हैं उसके ऊपर. What we need is a cultural change in this country. We need to change the ecosystem. We're talking about climate change should be trending. Where we're talking about climate change should be fashionable. We're talking about climate change should get more views, because it is indeed an existential threat. So I would like to propose a declaration in which we involve and identify the actions which are to be carried out by different stakeholders. The Pakistan Broadcasters Association, for example, the mainstream electronic media channels, what role can they play? Can they dedicate, instead of us politicians fighting with each other all day, sitting on talk shows, there needs to be a dedicated airtime in the form of public service messaging for climate change. And speak to the people in their own language, speak to the people in their regional languages, speak to the people and tell them about religion. Because you see, I just quoted from 1400 years ago how Islam has made it obligatory upon us to talk about climate change and raise awareness on climate change. So what can the mainstream media do? How can they help? How can the digital media associations help? How can the different platforms like TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, how can they help in dedicating a certain amount of content towards climate change and raising awareness? This is a great initiative, and I believe that the banner of green journalism will go a long way in achieving results. What role can the Higher Education Commission take up? What role can different universities take up? Because this needs to be a part of the syllabus not only at the university level, But we need to tell the children who are in primary school that they also have a responsibility. And we need to inculcate in them this sense of responsibility with regard to climate change. So I will nominate a focal person from my side. And with your team, a joint working group can be formed so that we can identify the different stakeholders and then identify the different actions that are to be taken. And I believe that we should hold sessions with our esteemed media personalities. Rauf Klasa Saab is here, Javed Choi Saab just walked in. These people are influencers, they are opinion makers, people listen to them. So I think every person has a role to play. So we need to make subgroups of influencers, of different people who can play their role in this regard. The overall society, the society owes this responsibility to mankind. So I think we can involve different stakeholders. We can have different actions that can be identified that they are supposed to take. We can